Hey, I am Judd, and this is the Actual Play Twitch stream. We are going to be playing something, I don't know, I call it Into the Odd-ish, sort of, maybe an Into the Odd-like, marked by the odd, I don't know. We used Into the Odd to play the Beast of Borgenfeld, and we finished that game last week, and now we're playing again, because why not? Before I get into that a little more, just so you know, all money that we get for subscriptions go to Planned Parenthood and the National Center for Transgender Equity. So if you would like to drop a subscription on us, that'd be great. You might not know this, but when you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription for Twitch. So if you do that, and then that money goes to Planned Parenthood and the Transgender Equity, karmically, it kind of balances out. Kind of, sort of.
Close enough.
Are we all going to capitalist hell together? Maybe.
Well, I mean, on the one hand, you're making Jeff Bezos pay Planned Parenthood and the Trans Legal Defense Fund. So think of it that
That's
way.
true. That's right. Yeah.
Damn.
Now I've got to figure out how to make Amazon do the Twitch subscribe thing.
Yeah, he should just sold that shit. I was like, Sid?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got to make Jeff Bezos write a check. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing I got with Prime. So now
Yeah. Rock out.
It's like I'm writing a check to what? I'm doing what?
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
How do we stop that?
What else? So why are we here today? We would be playing A State, which is our normal game, but we couldn't do that for technical reasons. So we set up this as a B game that I actually honestly thought we were never going to play again. I was like, we're never going to play this again. I was like, yeah, we can do this as a B game, and everyone was like, yeah, Judd. And I was like, oh, they're humoring me. No, we're not doing this.
No, in my head, I'm like, oh, he's down for a B game. This is going to work. Fantastic.
Look, don't make suggestions if you're not gonna. You don't want to follow.
I wanted to. I thought y'all were humoring. So I've got. I brought Trilemma Adventures with me to my family gathering today, and read over an adventure I haven't run on it yet, but we might not even get to it. So what we're going to do is our adventure ended last time with the players pretty successfully looting a family tomb in Borgenfeld, and we're going to start this game 6 months later. I think in a city called Riverside, which is up the river, or maybe downriver. Let's say downriver from Borgenfeld, and I think it is an old. It's where like the river pirates used to come and like sell their goods, their stolen goods, to caravans going west into the steppes, and we're kind of 6 months later. If you've ever seen Conan the Barbarian, and there's that scene where they've like stolen a bunch of money and they're like, success will try someone as hard as and like they're kind of like eating gruel, and let the face goes in the gruel, and they're they've got everything they want, but it's not what they want. That is the vibe I think I'm thinking of with Riverside. So we might get to the adventure that I skimmed while watching the Giants game with my father this afternoon, or we might just like get into a lot of trouble in Riverside and end up stabbing people in back alleys near a river. So I have no idea. I never know with these folks, and that's cool. Let's let everybody talk a little bit. Let me get a drink and introduce ourselves. Jay, what do you have cooking? How's Dungeon 23 going for you?
It's pretty good. I'm still having to figure out. I'm using 11x17 graph paper for Dungeon 23. I'm mapping out my first abandoned space station. It's more conceptual and mapping, not actual floor mapping. I'm fascinated with the point crawls and depth crawls that the Alexandrian talks about. So you're kind of generating the whole thing on the fly. I envision this whole thing will be a list of 365 rooms broken up into the 3 different stations. I'm playing around with some math for generating how your map gets generated. But every day I'm down, like right now, I'm down to 16 distinct rooms. but I'm also working on how it all kind of plays together. And then lastly, I've been looking at, with all the crazy RPG stuff going on, I've been looking at Into the Odd for running, right, some scenarios into this Dungeon 23. Maybe a month from now when I have more rooms, but I want to play in it rather than rather than it just be a thing on paper.
Nice.
Cool. That's awesome. That all sounds awesome. And there will be more about this in your Substack, Diceology.
Yes, I think every other week I'll do an update. I don't want to overwhelm folks with a new room every day.
Yeah.
So my thought is, like, every 2 weeks, here's what I got. Here's where I'm at. Here are my thoughts.
Cool. Awesome. That makes sense. Misha, how is design stuff, play stuff, whatever? I know you do a lot of costume work. I feel like when I've got a Discord, and one of the areas is what are you making, and you're always making the coolest stuff. So are you making anything cool lately? What's going on?
I made duck breast bacon, which is amazing. Ooh. It's like as close to pork as you can get without it being pork. Like the profile is like, you still get that smoky, you get the chew, you get the fat content. It's like really good. Nice. And then I did a LARP yesterday, changing LARP up in Westminster. So I got to actually wear stuff that I put together.
Nice.
And what else? I got to go to the grocery store with my mother and my daughter and drive, them both crazy at the same time. It was
nice.
It was pretty effective.
three generations of y'all heading to the grocery store. That's awesome. Cool. Who did you get to play in the LARP?
So I'm playing a character, Abigail, who is a fae who is stuck. She keeps getting reincarnated into this house, and she remembers like the bits where she passes the chrysalis, but doesn't, until she hits that point, she doesn't remember that, oh wait, I've done this before. And so it's kind of odd. Like we had to go, and our Baron somehow went into the dreaming and stuck a crown on his head, and it started sucking out all the. It's like, okay, dude, why would you do that? You picked up a shiny that you found in the woods. Why? Yeah. So that was our main focus yesterday.
That's fun. Sounds like fun fairy drama, which is right up your alley.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome. Jeremiah, what are you playing lately?
I've been in a West Marches game for a few months. That's being run by Jason Lutz with his freebooters.
I made a character for that, and I just haven't been able. My schedule just hasn't worked. But I'm lurking and waiting. I can't wait.
I'm having like a lot of fun. It's scratching some good itches. I just hit level 4 because I've been playing quite a bit. So I'm enjoying that. And then away from the tabletop, I have been playing an indecent amount of this game called Graveyard Keeper on the Switch. It's a problem. I'm pretty sure I played like 20 hours yesterday. Like it's bad. Like it's like designed to just make all of the worst parts of ADHD just all happen at the same time.
Ooh, no.
Because it's like, there's always a lot of stuff to do, and I'll be like, okay, cool. Here's my plan. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to help this person out. I'm going to do this. And then like 3 hours later, I'm like, I didn't even get to the second thing on my list because I just get distracted by a million other things. And I'll be like, okay, I'm going to stop and cook dinner at some point, like in real life. And then 3 hours later, I'll be like, why am I so hungry? Oh, I need to stop playing. Like it is just like dopamine right into my veins. It's a problem.
Nice.
Video games can be rough.
They are. They can be rough.
Yeah, I haven't had a video game hook me this, and it's such a weird little game. Like I don't even know how to just. Like the first thing you do is you're doing autopsies because you're the graveyard keeper, and you got to prepare the bodies. And oh look, I now have a pound of flesh, and I'm hungry, and I have an oven. So you're just surviving over cooked human meat for a little while.
I've never had someone talk me into and then out of a game.
Our game so fast.
It's fine. It's fine. Later on, you get a stamp so that you can convince people that it's legitimate meat.
Wow.
Nice.
It's weird and dark and surreal, and I don't know. I really dig it.
Yeah. Awesome. Love it. So let's jump into this thing. You all it's the first game where that the first Borgenfeld into the Oddish game that we have where everybody is all together, which is fun. And I think you've sold off a bunch of ivory and silver and let's say for now that you have the complete monster manual, you have that library still.
Oh yeah.
And because it's a fun in-game, it's a fun like little hook I can grab for later. But yeah, you made a small fortune at adventuring, and I think the only real problem thing was I think someone maybe Hendrix got like knocked unconscious by the cockatrice. Was it Hendrix or was it Xander?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, Xander got knocked unconscious, but
Okay. Yeah. So Xander got knocked unconscious, but like it's a pretty small price to pay. You have a little scar, but you're all right.
yeah,
It wasn't terrible.
I've got his eyes, so who's the real winner?
Yeah. Yes. So you're all in Riverside, which is this little pirate haven by the river. I think it was originally a place where river pirates would come and sell their goods to the caravans that were headed west to the steppes. If you go north along the river, you get to some northern sorceress jarls who we can deal with later. But for now, you're in Riverside, which is the closest thing to a city in a good distance. And you've got a fortune. I don't want to like go day by day, like what did you do? But I would like to know like what frivolous nonsense did Hendrix or Xander or Evander get up to, and or what type of thing were they looking to buy, or how are they looking to spend some of this? And I will make a sheet where we can like keep track of the fortune later, and we'll kind of keep track of it. But yeah. Do you have any ideas about what kind of, would they just get back to gambling, because it's their habit, and that's kind of how they started? Would they start to build something? Would they start to found an organization? What do they want to do now that they're kind of, it's one of those like small lottery hits where someone could do it and then a year later someone could be like, someone should have gotten them an accountant. Like it's one of those deals. But what did y'all get up to? Anyone? Misha's got something.
Yeah, so I think she probably goes along's apprentice contract so that like he's not being hunted by his former
nice
master.
Yeah. What's that character's name?
Goes along. At least that's what I have.
Yeah. Goes along.
Yeah. Judd named him because I don't come up with names that good.
I think I came from it for the fantasy name generator, and it was like I don't remember what nationality it was, but I was like, yeah. And then anyway, goes along. Yeah, cool. Wow, that's awesome. I'm sorry. What else?
I can't. That would probably be the biggest thing she did.
Yeah, that's a big that's a huge thing. That's a noble act. Wow. Yeah, I think Gosling is ready to follow you into hell without a doubt.
That was, kind of the idea.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think Gosling says I would like to take whatever part of this fortune is mine and make you something. What could I make you, Evander? I'm a pretty good smith. What does an adventuress like yourself want after having faced down a ghostly huntress and an undead manticore and this weird barrow?
I think that might be what she and him are working on. Is like they're like working out what it is and she's like, sketching and researching and discarding a couple of thousand ideas, and so
cool. Yeah, we'll let you marinate on that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good start. Awesome. Jay, what do you think Hendrix is up to?
Something sorcerous.
Oh, nice.
I've got some spells. I've only threatened to use them. I haven't used them. Right.
What spells do you have?
I have Bloody Mirror Door from the old Vindlink.
Yeah.
I have some Goblin cantrips, Bless Hook, and I have some Riverfolk cantrips, Moon's Veil. I also have this arcane tattoo.
Hey, what does that look like? Do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Don't need to know it. Don't need to know all this.
Okay.
I'm just always curious. I
also have the Alley Tooth dagger. And I have no idea what that. What's an Alley Tooth?
Yeah. I just thought it was a cool name.
I like it, and I'm trying to. What does that look? I think it looks like a big tooth.
Right. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he would be tracking down, looking at either adding to, because I have a mishmash of spells here, so I'm thinking maybe that's his thing, is collecting arcane things.
Cool.
And so maybe that's what he would spend his fortune on, is what's the next arcane trinket I can wield, deal, get my hands on.
Yeah. Do you want to kind of like look around? Like, what are you looking around for a spell? Or are you looking around for?
Yeah, I don't know that Hendrix is that sophisticated. I think it's a shiny, right?
Right.
I think maybe he's aware of where these things can be found in different towns or whatever, like a market for arcane things. Maybe it's safe, maybe it's not. I don't know. But he's looking for what's the next shiny arcane thing.
Cool.
That could be mine.
Yeah. It feels like a will roll in time. We don't have to do it right this second.
Okay.
But yeah. Let's think about that. I think that'll be a fun roll. Cool. Jeremiah, what do you think? What are you thinking about Xander?
The thing that just occurred to me is, since we're in a sort of pirate haven, and I assume there's probably a lot of smuggling going on, and
definitely
I have a really good friend that's a caravan drover.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of maybe trying to set up something where Odger, kind of my point man, getting him a job is like, because the pirates can go up and down the river, sure, but eventually it's got to go over land. So here's my guy that knows the lay of the land and can get things from A to B, and all it'll take is I want some steady income.
Yeah.
A smuggling operation that I can get in.
Yeah, there's oddly there is totally a system in the odd for enterprises.
Ooh, perfect.
And we can absolutely roll some dice and see how that goes.
Nice.
Are you looking to get into? Are you looking to buy? Here's the real question. Are you looking to buy into a caravan that's already set up and going, or are you looking to kind of found your own?
Oh, I want to found my own.
Totally.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because I got a big chunk of seed money. So.
Yeah. Love it. That's awesome. Starting up an organization, starting up a thing. That sounds great. We're gonna roll some dice on that too. Definitely.
Perfect.
The way that they work is super simple. You basically set, like, it starts off as like a D4 thing, right? And then once it makes a profit, it moves up a die type. But the other interesting thing is that so you roll a D4 to see how much it makes, but then you also roll a D4 to see how much trouble and how much it costs. So it can end up costing you, which means there is some kind of a problem, like a bandit or something.
Right.
And so it can be like a little adventure seed, which I think is fun.
Interesting.
Let's roll those dice in a moment. I think that's really cool. Getting Odger set up with a bit of some mercantilism. That sounds fun. That sounds really fun. Jay, yeah, I imagine Hendrix like out in the dodgier parts of Riverside,
Yes.
chasing down dark magics. Let's just see how that goes for you. Let's just make a will roll just to like see how he's doing
All
out
right.
there.
I'm feeling pretty good because we just leveled up and
Yeah.
my will is at 10 now.
Yeah.
And so 1d20. Here it goes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting warmed up a little bit. I got a 14.
Okay. Okay.
The night is young. It's early.
Cool. I think you are. Here's what that failed roll means. I think it just means you're in kind of a bad situation, and that you are at a gambling table. You've been kind of looking for the magic underbelly of Riverside all night, and you realize that you are gambling here with some powerful sorcerers and warlocks, and it's not necessarily things aren't going great, and it's not exactly a debt you want to pay right this second. As the cards go up, yeah, I just imagine even among the pirates, I think the underbelly sorcerers and warlocks and wizards and hedge wizards and witches are pretty rough and weird. Definitely. Well, was there something that you'd heard about from one of them that you kind of wanted to ask about? Like, is there?
Yeah, so I think, as we were talking earlier, I think I have this one spell from the old Vinlink.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right. So the old Vinlink is
No, go ahead.
No, the old Vinlink is just what I am at, like the sorcerer who served the Lord of Borgenwald in the old days. And so that's like an old spell book that people, like a lot of people have spells out of there because I think that sorcerer came to an untimely end, and like their spell book got kind of ripped apart and
nice.
sent a lot of different places.
Perfect. Yep. I'm looking for another spell out of that book. I already have one.
Yeah.
I got to collect them all. Which
one do you have?
I have Bloody Mirror Door.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Let's paint the scene a little bit, which means I'm going to ask for help. Misha, what has Avanda heard about, one or more of the sorceress underbelly of Riverside? Like, is there a rumor that she's heard that really worries her as she watched Hendrix go off to look for more spells and more arcane goods?
She's heard that there is a offshoot of the river that will leech your magic if you fall into it.
Ooh, nice. A river, yeah. Awesome. That will eat magic. That's great. What did you call that part of the river?
I said offshoot because I couldn't remember what the word is.
Yeah. I get it. I couldn't even think of offshoot. So you are ahead of me.
Like tributary goes in. What's the one that goes out?
Yeah. I got it. It's good. Jeremiah, has Xander heard anything about this sorceress underbelly? Is there anything that he's worried about?
I think things that he's heard because Xander kind of has a nature bent a little bit. He's got a connection to nature in some way.
Yeah.
I think in some respects they're probably like the antithesis to that. Like they're very unnatural, and not just because it's magic. Like magic is perfectly natural, but
Yeah.
the way they interact with the world and nature is very not natural.
Cool. Love it. Love it. Yeah, Hendrix. I think one of the warlocks says, let's put up something real. And he takes a spell from the old Valenkin sorcerer book called The Secret Pact. And I think when these spells are rattling around in your brain, it's like, it's just like a thing that's always there, kind of like a headache or something. And for just to bring everybody else in, I think Avanda and Xander are like out at this bar. They're not. I mean, they might not be at this table right now, but they're around. Like Avanda is sitting with Gazalung, and is looking at books of old weaponry and armor and making their own sketches. Xander is sitting with Ogden and looking over maps, and and Hendrix is gambling with the worst people in the city. And yeah, I think he teases it out, and it's like this kind of ephemeral light that like comes out of his skull, and he condenses it into like an orb and drops it on the table and says, let's gamble something real. And you can see the spell, the secret pact there, and he kind of pushes it across with his money and says, what have you got that can match it? And like I think all the other sorcerers and warlocks are like, I'm out. Nope, I'm out. And yeah, I imagine Hendrix's eyes lighting up a little.
All right. So Hendrix, I'm assuming I could do the same thing. I could take a spell,
yeah,
and manifest it down.
We have just decided that we can do that. Yes.
All right. So I do that.
Yeah.
With the Moon's Veil spell that I have.
Okay.
Hoping that I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to give him my Vinlink spell.
Right. You like those spells?
I don't want to put that one on the table. So I put the Moon's Veil one on, and I talk it up.
Cool. What do you say about it? This is a goblin cantrip, right?
Riverfolk.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe
it's in both. It's in both, I think. Yep. Cool.
Is it? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I talk about how it's it's a little something uncommon between the goblins and the riverfolk. You can find this just anywhere, right?
Yeah.
You got to go deep. This is a deep riverfolk cut spell right here.
Yeah, I think you're playing some weird version of tarot poker, and you here's like the result of the failed roll earlier, right? You get your next card, and it's not that great, and you're like, shit. Unless this guy was doing a deep bluff, I might lose this.
Right.
Now what do I do? Like, this is the situation we're in now.
Gotcha.
And now that role is now resolved.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah. We needed to flesh that out. Cool. So what you're looking at your cards, you're like, shit, I'm gonna lose. You're in this smoky back room. This pretty grimy warlock is pushing a bet because he thinks he's got the cards to go over on you. Your friends are nearby, but they've got their own cool shit going on. What is Hendrix doing?
I want that spell. If I'm pretty sure I don't have the cards,
Yeah.
then I will go through the motions of playing this game.
Yeah.
And when the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to grab both spells off the table
And run.
and run.
Nice. Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna roll a 6-sider. I think on like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you lose, and on a 6 you win. And here we go. I'm gonna kind of dive. I'm gonna dive fade it up a little bit, and yeah, you go through, and it like it's time to pick up. Like the tension is growing, and he flips his cards, and you're like, oh, I lost. Shit, I lost big time. And then you're gonna snag and run.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna snag them and run.
Nice.
Yeah. Make a dex check. Let's just make sure. Make a dex save. See how it goes.
My dex also has moved from 9 to 10.
There you go, 50-50.
Yes. Most of my scores were low starting out, so that leveling up was a nice bump.
Yeah.
I rolled an 8.
Nice. There is screaming and yelling. You grab it and like you're, no one saw that really coming.
Can he do that? Can you just
right? Yeah, I think there is an arcane bolt explosion as the warlock fires some kind of arcane missile at you. The place kind of goes a little berserk, and you're out the door and in the street, but you can hear a warlock who we clearly have to name. I will get a name for them in a moment.
Yes.
Yelling absolute bloody murder at you, and you're out in the street. What next?
I cast my bloody mirror door on the door behind me.
Oh,
cool. Now we get to say what does bloody. So here's just for everybody watching at home, like what is going on? Why is Judd? Why is this happening? What I did a couple of games ago, I was running a game with Jay and my friend Aaron, and I didn't define any of the magic spells or anything, and I actually really liked it. I liked what they came up with. I liked the weird magic that we decided. So here is the just so I don't put this over someone's face, kind of over Misha's, but not really. Over my face. So here is the link to the thing with all the spell names, and if you're interested, and if you're in the chat, you can just click on it, and I will take that off of the thing, and we're good to go. So yeah, what does a bloody mirror door do? Like, what does? Let's describe it, and let's what does casting it look like? I think this is our first real look at magic in this world. So let's figure it out.
All right. Yeah, I think there's a lot of arm gestures. I think Hendrix struggles to get all the words out. Whatever the language old Vinlink used is not Hendrix's native language.
Yeah.
Right. But I think it's all gestures and vocal. What is that? Somatic.
Yeah.
And maybe he tosses a bit of glass, right where the threshold of the door, that he just left of the bar, right? Right across the threshold as he's passing by it. I think he turns around because he He's never used it. He's been told what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I don't really know if it's going to do that thing or not.
What is it supposed to do? What is Hendrix heard it's supposed to do?
Yeah, it's supposed to redirect anyone coming through that passageway someplace else. They don't get to come through here. Right. They go someplace else.
Where do they go?
Someplace else where there's another door.
Right.
Against the mirror door. I don't know what the bloody part's about.
Oh boy. Wow. Hendrix,
I didn't get that question answered.
Hendrix is chock full of really shitty ideas tonight in the best way. In like the Fafford and Gray Mouser bestest of ways. In the I am a protagonist in a sword and sorcery novel that Judd found in a used bookstore in New Jersey in 1992 ways.
I know that place.
Yeah. I love it. I want another will save to see if things. It's not that the spell's not going to work. It's that is it going to work the way you thought it was? Like there could just be some weird arcane side effects. Is the way that rolling to see if the spell goes. It's like it's not rolling to see if the spell happens because I don't want it just to be to putter.
Right.
It's that there could be some really bad side effects.
Gotcha.
Like the
1d20.
bloody part.
Yes.
Like we might find out the bloody part. Yes.
Is there any sort of mechanic for helping at all?
I don't know if there is.
But
we can make it. So let's say like when you help, you something was going to happen, and maybe Jay will get to like roll a d6 and like bump the number up or down by that d6, depending on the help, but like you're involved in the consequences of it somehow.
Sure. So what I was picturing, and it, like I had this idea before Hendrix fully got out of the door.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that this is not the first time Hendrix has pulled this sort of thing. So I think maybe I was somewhat situationally aware. So I think there's that moment where maybe the warlock starts chasing him, and I stand up from my table at just the wrong time and like oh sorry, oh didn't see it, oh wait, oh doing like just to try to slow him down to give Hendrix more time to get away and or cast his spell, like just be this bumbling obstruction.
Yeah.
On accident.
Yeah. That is awesome.
That is awesome.
I tried a name on the fantasy name generator, and I actually really didn't like what I was getting. So let me find a different one. Man, there are some bad ones.
Yeah, sometimes there's a good streak, and sometimes
there's a really horrible streak.
Yeah. Like, oh,
wizard names. Yeah, wizard names are better. I'm getting good wizard names. Good. Magic usernames. Not crazy about that one. Cool. The warlock's name is totally Zoric. Xorick. And now that I see it, I'm like, it couldn't have ever been anything else. Like that has clearly been what that warlock is named.
Got a lot of X's in this game. We got Hendrix.
Yep.
Xander.
Yep. You got Zoric. Yes.
This is clearly, a fantasy sword and sorcery, style game.
Yes.
We could throw some extraneous apostrophes. And
definitely, we need some apostrophes.
That's right.
We do. We need more apostrophes. Here. I will fix this. One moment.
We need to get on this.
Hyphen Oric.
Avanda's getting
of Onda.
An apostrophe.
There
you go.
Shit.
Perfect.
Now we're for real.
Shit is real now. Love it. So, how it's cool. So, you kind of block them. So you're not necessarily helping with the spell. You're more helping with Hendrix.
My idea was more like giving him time.
Yeah.
So maybe he's not having to rush through the spell or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, then that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So it does help the spell. Yes. So Jay, roll a d20. and then roll a d6, and you can bump it up or down based on what you need.
Cool. I rolled my d20 from a spell already, and I got an 11.
Okay.
My will is 10.
Right. So let's see if that d6, unless it's if it's a 1, even if it is 1, it's going to help you. Yeah.
Hooray!
And so I got a 4 on the d6.
Nice. So you can bump it down. Cool.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. So you're rushing it, and then like you see Xander step in front of the guy's way, and Zorik is, screaming at him, red faced, to get away from him. I have to, my property was stolen, and Xander's like, what does Xander say when the warlock is screaming at him?
I mean, he's just being drunkenly apologetic. I don't think I'm actually drunk, but just like, oh, I'm sorry. Ooh. And then every time he tries to go one way, I stumble in that direction.
Nice.
This very bizarre coordinated dance almost.
Love it. Jay, what does the spell look like as it goes? Or what does the spell look like as it goes up over the door?
I think it has a mirror kind of sheen to it, especially at the edges, right?
Yeah,
for sure. I think at the beginning you can probably see it go from the bottom of the door, kind of shine its way up to the top. But I think at the edges, if you're paying attention, right, it's kind of got that reflective mirror quality.
Love it. Yeah,
that might be the tell. We
might not be in an old 90s book. We might actually be in an old 90s fantasy movie, like pre Lord of the Rings, if anyone out there remembers. There were like there were like 4 of them, and they were bad, and
they were bad.
You'd get into an argument with your friend at 3 a.m. about like, are the Barbarian Brothers good really? And you'd be like, no, dude, they're not good. They're not not a good movie. You shouldn't watch that. And they're like, no, but
it's a classic, but it's not good.
Right.
Like everybody should watch it, but I don't expect you to like it.
Should they?
Right.
Yeah, right. Hawk the Slayer is the other one.
Hawk the Slayer, yes.
So I think this mirror is like that, like 90s first computerized special effects, right? Where it's like the T1000. It's like that mirror kind of bubbling up. Maybe it's like got a reddish tint. That's the blood part, we hope. And Beastmaster. Beastmaster was all right.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know. Those monsters.
The first Beastmaster was okay.
Yeah.
Second Beastmaster.
By
the time we get to the third one,
I never watched any of those. I just remember those scary monsters with the.
Oh my god, they gave me nightmares.
And like the slime would drop.
Yes.
Those monsters they're making an appearance. They're making an appearance.
Oh, maybe the blood part
is guys. They were helping.
Yeah, maybe the blood part. Like maybe whenever you're tossing the glass out, maybe like you actually have to like nick yourself just a little bit. Like maybe part of the spell is using a little bit of your blood on the mirror. Like that could be the blood part. If you like,
I like that. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that.
Cool. Zorik goes through the door, and comes out somewhere else. Like he doesn't, like he goes through the spell, but then he comes out. Is it somewhere within a few miles? Does he have to make a save, or else it's really far away? Like how?
Oh man,
what do you think?
Okay. Yeah, my question was going to be like, is it random, or is this something you have to set up ahead of time?
I think it's random. I think it's random.
Oh no,
I think it's random.
Maybe it's random if you don't set it up ahead of time. Like no one ever taught Hendrix how to set it up ahead of time, right?
Right. I like that. Yes, I like that.
Cool.
So he could come out next door. He could come out.
Away. And maybe the save, then, if there's a save, maybe that's the distance, right?
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Cool.
The better the save, the closer the distance.
Yep. He failed the save.
Nice. Nice.
No.
I love it.
Oh no. What if he falls into the offshoot of the river?
Oh no.
Right. Zorik's gone for a while.
He'll
I
definitely
mean,
be back.
he's got to clearly come back from wherever he fell.
Yeah.
But that is the best of all outcomes right now, and I don't care about tomorrow. Right now, he is gone.
He'll be back for the sequel.
He clearly doesn't care about tomorrow. Misha, what do you think Avanda and Gazlan are cooking up as?
I think they're trying to figure out the best way to do some kind of like breastplate type thing.
Yeah.
Such that, okay, yeah, but I it's got to be light enough for me to carry, but also like, not take too much, like, has to be thin so that I can carry it, but it can't be like so thin that it just breaks the first time it gets hit. And, so they're like arguing the merits of different things as
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. We will definitely, but before you go on the adventure, we will, or whatever happens next, we will definitely try to get that nailed down. And I don't know if we're gonna have to make any rolls. I don't know if we're gonna have like craft rolls, but yeah, I'd like you to come away with something. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, let's see how this, as the days go forward, let's see how your
enterprise goes.
How your enterprise goes.
Yeah.
Roll a d4, and that's how much it is. How much it is generating in.
One.
Yeah. So my minus is 4.
Oh no.
Or the yeah. So. I think we haven't quite been at it an hour, but it's getting to be 10, and I've got to medicate my cat. So Pupper needs her gabapentin, otherwise she gets stiff.
Yeah.
So here's where we'll end it. I think we're not going to go in the adventure we thought we were, because you get a ransom letter that says Ogfeld and your caravan have been captured.
Oh no.
And if you want them, you'll have to come with a good amount of money. And it's a group of bandits who are led by Zorik the Warlock.
There it is.
Bringing it all together. And that is I think like you reading the ransom letter, the next day, or a week from this event that we just witnessed, is where we start when we come back from the break.
Oh no.
So
Nice.
let me put up our Be Right Back, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you soon. Find out what's going on with Xander's Mercantile Enterprises and Hendrix's new spell and Vanda's piece of armor, and we'll go from there.
It's not an ellipsis. It's an apostrophe.
I wasn't sure where to go with it. I felt like I had to pay it some respect, but I wasn't sure what to do. All right, I'll see y'all in a few minutes.